Ralf, how are you doing?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
You've been over in England and at Manchester United now for about 6 weeks. How have you enjoyed it so far?
I mean, as a manager, and I think I can speak for all the other managers in the Premier League or in other leagues in European football, if you play every 3-4 days, it's not so easy to enjoy yourself because it's always post-match, pre-match, post-match. You have to think and prepare and talk about so many things that it's not so easy. Even after the win against Aston Villa, 10 minutes after the press conference, I already thought about the next game to come up. But in general, I enjoyed my time here at Manchester very much. People have been extremely helpful, and that made my arrival here a lot easier. And therefore, I can only again be grateful to that sort of welcome.
It's your first job managing in England.
Yes.
How does it compare and how is it different to the Bundesliga?
In general, I would say the league is the best in Europe. If I compare it to Germany, it's much more physical. Even the bottom teams in the league are extremely well organized with an astute tactical profile. A lot of physicality, so it's never easy, no matter against which team you're going to play. You have to play on a very high level of performance in order to be able to win those games, and this is different from Germany. I would say most of the bottom teams in England, if they played in the German Bundesliga, they would be not placed at the bottom of the league. But again, this is why the English Premier League is the best league in the world.
In Germany, you're known as the Professor. That is one hell of a nickname, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, at the time, they gave me, or some journalists gave me that nickname. Yeah, it was in the late 90s when I was head coach of Ulm, at the time a third division team in Germany, and they won 2 promotions from the third to the first Bundesliga. Within 2 years, with one of the lowest budgets in either of the leagues. People were asking, oh, why is this happening? Nobody knew the coach. Most of the players were pretty unknown. And that was the very moment when they called me the Professor.
Do you make your family and your wife and those close to you call you the Professor? Like, Professor,
No.
Dinner's ready?
No.
If you could have a nickname for your playing career, what do you think it would be?
I don't know. I mean, I was either a defensive midfielder, at the time, most of the time man marking, the playmaker, the number 10 of the oppositional team, or I was a right fullback. At the time, most of the teams played in a 3-5-2, so I had to run from one corner flag to the other and back again. At the time in Germany, when I was a player, it was very much man-oriented football, and at times when I played as a 6, even when the media were full of praise about my performance, I only touched the ball 5 times per 45 minutes, and I thought something must be wrong. I mean, I didn't even participate in the game really, but only to damage the afternoon of the other team's number 10 was just good enough to make me one of the best players on the pitch. I thought at the time this cannot be right, and even as a very young player, when I was 20, 21, 22 and took my first coaching badges, for me it was clear that if I become a head coach myself at one stage, I want to play a different kind of football which is much more ball-oriented, in zone marking, where every player should play his role, not only defensively but also when we're in possession of the ball.
Germany have produced like some top-class managers, like real top class. Like obviously, to note at the moment, obviously yourself, Klopp, and Super Tommy Tuchel. Why do you think Germany creates such good football managers?
Number one, I think, is that in Germany, most of the teams, maybe apart from Bayern Munich and, well, in parts also Borussia Dortmund, they cannot afford to buy top players. They always needed coaches, especially in the last 20 years, who can develop teams and players. Number two is that in the late 90s, in 2000, 2001, it became obligatory for each team to have a professional academy with full-time coaches They implemented the German under 19 and under 17 Bundesligas, first divisions. And since then, as a young coach, it was possible to learn that job from scratch. So quite like players, coaches in Germany could learn and take the next steps and learn that job. Thomas Tuchel, for example, Jürgen Klopp, myself, we all started our careers as coaching youngsters, under 17s, under 19s, all low-budget teams who didn't have enough money. Jürgen did it in Mainz, the same with Thomas, myself in Ulm. And even later on in Hanover, we didn't have the money. We couldn't afford to buy expensive top players. We had to develop our teams ourselves. And this is probably one of the reasons.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you later. Bye.